Yeah, alright, this is not Apollo 1. You shut up. Sorry, y'all. But, I was just making a response video to Age Extreme, and this shows you that I will answer how many questions you have, because there's a lot in this video. Okay? It don't matter how many questions you send me, I will answer. Y'all just send me y'all questions, no matter what y'all have. Okay, another thing I want to say, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I made another Q&A video today. It's in the description. Read the description, okay? There's a link in the description. Read the description, and you can watch the video. Say it one more time. I know I'm saying it a lot, but when you make one video in one day, people tend not to watch the other ones. They just watch the newest one. So read the freaking description, okay? All right, moving on. All right, first question he sent me. I'm not gonna go in order. I'm just gonna go straight down because he sent like different comments. All right, so I'm just gonna go straight down. All right, who do I consider the greatest heels in ROH, and who would be number one? Okay, right now the greatest heel in ROH, in my opinion, is Larry Sweeney because of this whole Sweet and Sour Inc. thing. I really like this faction. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see where they go with it. Another one is the Age of the Fall. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be heels or not, but yeah, I just like this whole gimmick or whatever because I actually like them. You know what I mean? I think they are supposed to be heels, but you know, because they attacked the Briscoes who were faces. You know, so yeah. But yeah, the greatest heel in ROH history, in my opinion, just the man that embodies heel is Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson is just the perfect heel. All right, next question. Do I think CZW goes overboard with some of their matches, especially when it comes to the Tournament of Death? Well, really, their death matches haven't been as wacko as they used to be. You know what I mean? They really toned it down a lot. You know, they're a lot more wrestling oriented. Not saying, you know, yeah, the death matches they did go a little too far, but yeah, I mean, they still have death matches, but they aren't as crazy as they used to be. All right. Next question: if Randy Orton is a so-called an asshole, then why is the WWE keeping him there? Actually two reasons: TNA, ROH. If those two companies weren't around, Randy Orton be gone. Okay, let's just get that straight. All right. Next question: between all four of the McMahons, who do I think is the most respected? Definitely Vince, because Vince has done a lot more for wrestling. But as of right now, I would say Shane. You know, Shane probably, you know, is more in tune with what the business needs right now. But Vince is definitely the most respected. All right. Besides ROH, what other indie companies do you like? PWG. Probably PWG. That's about it. I mean, I've been watching a little bit of Jersey All Pro Wrestling, but pretty much PWG. Oh yeah, and UWA Hardcore is pretty good too. All right. Another rumor is circulating that Cena's injured. Actually, it's not a rumor. All right, yeah, they'll vacate the title. Yeah. Yeah. So that question I can't really answer because it already didn't happen. They about to vacate his title. Which old school ECW superstars do I think the WWE should bring back? Absolutely none of them. None at all. 13. Is there ever a high chance that Austin Aries will go to the WWE? And what are your thoughts on that? I hope to God he doesn't. But you know, I can really see that happening one day, but I hope to God he doesn't. All right, any possible predictions on the Hall of Fame? Nah, man. I would say that I would think they have to put in Terry Funk. You know what I mean? And I think they, you know, they put in like Ravishing Rick Rude or something like that. You know what I mean? Because he's not in. Or maybe even Jake the Snake Roberts. You know what I'm saying? But the one man I think should be in, and nobody probably agrees with me on, is Taz. I really think Taz, you know, should be in the Hall of Fame. That's just me. All right. Next question. Name 5 guys you think should contend for the ROH title. Okay. Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, Austin Aries, Roderick Strong, and Brent Albright. Those are my 5. All right, why is TNA giving so much credibility to Kurt Angle? Because Kurt Angle is probably the biggest name they have, and they're not really thinking because he's not the biggest draw. The biggest draw is freaking Samoa Joe, you know, so they're giving like Angle the super push because he's the biggest name. So yeah. All right, what would be the craziest finisher I've ever seen? It all depends on what kind of finisher we're talking about. So let's say what the craziest finisher. I'm not too sure. I would say like the what I saw was the Psycho Driver off the top. That was sick. When Super Dragon did it on El Generico and PWG. Actually did it from the second rope. But yeah. So yeah, I would say that. Some other stuff, the Muscle Buster that Joe hit on Homicide, the Do or Die, that was sick too. Do I think the Warrior make a great heel manager if he was still involved in wrestling? Hell no. Name the most notorious backstage politicians ever in wrestling. Alright, Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Shawn Michaels even back in the day, but I would say the most notorious out of all of them is definitely Hogan. Okay, how are you able to answer all my questions in one video? I don't know, because I just say what I know I want to say and just move on. Do you believe that 95% of the world champions today are super bodybuilder types? No. Okay. I wouldn't even say John Cena was, you know what I mean? I would definitely say Batista is, and I wouldn't say CM Punk is, and I wouldn't necessarily say Kurt Angle is. So, you know, and Morishita's definitely not. So, you know, you know what I'm saying? So, give me my analysis on Cena and why he only has 40 to 45% of the audience fan support instead of 100%. I wouldn't say 40 to 45. I'd say it's about 60-40. 60% of the fans love him, 40% hate him. You know, I wouldn't give it that low of a number. You know, he still gets more cheers than boos. Y'all people act like everybody boos John Cena. You know, he gets more cheers than boos, definitely. But I'd say just because, you know, people think he's getting stale or whatever. I think if you put on a good match, I don't care how bad you are. All right. I don't care, you know, what people think. All right. Do you believe the reason why Batista isn't as popular with the mainstream audience is because he doesn't take a job that often? Batista is popular with the mainstream audience. It's just the diehard fans like myself, like yourself. Well, I mean, I know you told me you like Batista, but like myself and, you know, a lot of my friends and some other people on here, is because Batista is not that great. He's pretty bad. He has no mic skills, only a few moves, and yeah, he's pretty bad. Alright, do I prefer wrestling or MMA more? Alright, I'm really starting to like MMA, but wrestling was my first love. I've been watching wrestling ever since I was a little kid, so yeah. Alright, who are your top 5 favorite MMA fighters? Okay, these are just my favorites now, because Chuck Liddell, even though I know he's struggling. Anderson Silva, Fedor Emelianenko, Randy Couture, and probably Vanderlei Silva. Alright, how does Japanese wrestling really have pay-per-view events? I'm not sure. Have you heard about the rumor that Raw may switch Umaga to SmackDown and Mark Henry back to Raw? No, I ain't heard about that, but I think that would be cool. What can the WWE do to shut up and satisfy PS Power and RVD Tito for life? They shouldn't have to, because, you know, they're still making money and still rich as hell, so there's no point in them trying to satisfy 3 fans, you know what I mean? They're going to do what they want to do, and that's, you know, shit, they getting paid, you know what I mean? Have you heard about the rumor that HBK may not be coming back? Yeah, I have heard about that, and in my opinion, I don't think he should, because he's getting old, and his body just, I mean, I don't want to see something bad happen to Shawn Michaels. You know, Shawn Michaels, I think, is the greatest wrestler of all time, and I don't want nothing to happen to him, you know what I mean? But that does it. That answers all the questions, because I'm talented. But I'll make another video later. I think my girl is on the phone, so I got to go, y'all. Peace.